Doma Sports Talk, worldwide, with some news from the world of boxing. So y'all know what time it is. You ain't in a rush to get concussed. Now let's talk heavyweights. We got the two best with Tyson Fury and Alexander Usyk, who are not going to have their undisputed fight to the beginning of 2023. But you got the other guys, right, that just 2.5, 3 years ago would have been the biggest fight in boxing, probably in British history and all that good stuff. That would have been Deontay the Bronze Bomber Wilder versus Anthony A.J. Joshua, right, who's real famous in England. They were both undefeated at the time. We were trying to get an undisputed fight, and we didn't get it. If you ask me, obviously, Anthony Joshua didn't want that fight back then, nor did his team, right? And we have a similar thing going on now with Terrence Crawford, Errol Spence. You always have the same thing with Canelo Alvarez versus anybody hard. Anybody hard. If it's Demetrius Andrade, if it's Jamal Charlo, if it's David Benavidez, if it's David Morrell, if it's Artur Beterbiev, if it's Gilberto Ramirez, and if it's Dimitri Bivol rematch. None of that can happen. None of his fans want any of that to happen, right? And that's a similar thing. But here's the newest news, right, that I'm telling y'all, ignore is the best way to go about it. What happens in the world of boxing is somebody in the team says, let's put something out there. And then they just watch us, all these people on YouTube or wherever, just run with narratives, right? What's being said right now is Deontay Wilder and Anthony Joshua are in talks for a future fight. Right? Your job is to ignore that. I don't believe it. You shouldn't believe it. We've had that in around 2018 and 19 where it was nothing in the way of the fight. Nothing. Whatsoever. Now, Povetkin came in and you had to hit, Povetkin had to fight, right? So I think it was the WBA came in and said, hey, you have to fight Povetkin in the middle of the negotiations because at that particular time, Deontay Wilder had even agreed to take a flat rate of 15 million, letting Anthony Joshua get 85 million, which he shouldn't have done. I'm glad it didn't happen under those circumstances. But once he said yeah, then all of a sudden the WBA came in and said, Povetkin, you have to fight Povetkin. You know where he fought Povetkin? In the same place that they told Deontay Wilder's team that wasn't free on that date in September. We'll never forget it. But he didn't even have to fight Povetkin, really, at the time. Undisputed trumps all of that. That didn't happen then. Right now, we would be idiots because of what we've seen when it comes to Anthony Joshua and negotiation with Deontay Wilder to even pay attention to it, first. Second is to believe it. It's ridiculous. Anthony Joshua's coming off of 2 losses. You're not fighting Deontay Wilder, not next and not the fight after next. Maybe after that if he gets some confidence back. But there's no one in his team, no one that likes Anthony Joshua a lot, right? Or anybody like that wants him to step in the ring with Deontay Wilder anytime soon. Right? It just makes sense. Deontay Wilder just knocked somebody out with about 4-inch punch with his right hand. Right? He's obviously learning other things. Deontay Wilder Anthony Joshua just lost to Usyk twice, was hurt against Usyk. That's not happening. Period. Anthony Joshua comes out today saying, you know, he was in depression after losing the second fight with Usyk, which is legitimate. Only thing is, depression now that we have that option, we're all in depression. I'm depressed at seeing how America's rolling, right? I'm traumatized, depressed. I probably won't stand for the national anthem no more until they figure something out because half of America's okay with treason as long as they look a certain way. So that's traumatizing and depressing. We got inflation. We got all this stuff. It's a whole bunch of stuff to be depressed about, right? But we move on. And Anthony Joshua is a boxer, so he's going to move on. But he said, you know, he's been depressed because of losing twice to Usyk. And, you know, come on, we got to be real. He should be, you know, a little depressed. But the thing is, when you have fighter in front of your name, we expect you to fight. So let's see Anthony Joshua, what he's going to do. But, guys, ignore the fact that Deontay Wilder and Anthony Joshua are in talks. Because here's what they should do. Shut the hell up and just simply announce the fight while we're not paying attention to them. And then everybody will be down with the program. Just shut the hell up. Who cares? I know Eddie Hearn will have a problem doing this. Just be quiet, negotiate behind scenes, and announce the damn fight. And then we'll be receptive to that. All this stuff happening before is just stuff to be saying out there, to put narratives out there to keep people, engaged. We're engaged. It's Anthony Joshua and Deontay Wilder. We'll be engaged as soon as we know that they're going to step in the ring. But right now, we deserve, and what I mean is the fans and people that pay attention to boxing, we deserve to be skeptical, at bare minimum. Doma Sports Talk Worldwide. And I'm up out of here, y'all.